It's Wednesday again. I'm John Tracy, and I hope I can be a little bit of an encouragement to you today. I don't know what you've been doing with all your extra time over the last couple months during the COVID-19 isolation season, but in our house, my wife and I have been taking our love for bicycle riding to a whole different level. Maybe you don't know this about us, but we've actually enjoyed bike riding throughout most of our marriage. In fact, some of our very first fun experiences we had years ago when we first started dating included riding our bikes together. And I gotta be honest, it hasn't always been fun and games. We've had some quite literal bumps in the road while we've been out on bike trails. And maybe you've heard of a tandem bike, two independent thinkers sitting on one bike trying to go two different directions at the same time. Not good for us, not good for our marriage. So we've set that aside a long time ago. But we do have a lot of great biking memories too. It's been a thing for us off and on for a long time. But over the last couple months with the lockdown and the social distancing and all that stuff, we've just found ourselves with some extra time on our hands, and we've been going out for longer, more intense rides. There's actually a whole bunch of really great bike trails throughout the Tampa Bay community. And I mean, let's be honest, for those of you who live around here, I mean, haven't we had some pretty amazing Florida weather over the last couple months? Sorry to say that for those of you watching this from a colder climate. But it's been a blast here to take, a couple hours at a time and go hit the trails. And because we've been riding more, we started, upgrading some of our gear and accessorizing our bikes and just trying to get more serious about it. It's all been really fun. Kim's got a pretty great road bike that she rides, but I've got what's called a hybrid bike. And I love it. It's a great brand, really great gear and brake systems. It's lightweight, it's really fast. I mean, I think it's about as good as you can get actually without stepping up to an actual road bike. But at the end of the day, it's not a road bike. It's a hybrid bike. And so for you non-bikers, what that means, it means a few different things. It's got small road bike tires. It's lighter, a lighter frame than like a mountain bike. But there's some really significant differences too, like the angle of your seated position and especially the handlebar systems. A road bike has a curved handlebar that allows for at least 3 different hand positions. And depending on how you might upgrade it, you might have as many as like 5 or 6 different hand positions to work with. But on a hybrid bike like mine, you really just have one. You're holding that handlebar the same way all the time. And that's a problem for a few different reasons. When I'm out on a long distance ride and I'm gripping that bar with my upper body weight, pressing down on those hands in that one position for a long time with no opportunity to mix it up at all, I start to have this issue where my shoulders, I'll feel it there first, they'll start to hurt, my wrists will start to tingle, and then before long my hands and my forearms, they'll literally start getting numb and even go to sleep. You just can't grip that tightly with a lot of weight in one place without moving for a long time without your body parts starting to give up on you. And the real issue is, I know I need to someday upgrade my bike if I'm going to keep taking these long rides, but in the meantime, whenever that happens, the only way to fix it really is to let go of the bar and release my grip for a little bit, usually one arm at a time obviously, and shake off the tension and the tightness to relax those muscles. And when I do that, the feeling will start to come back into my hands. It's because my body is just not made to grip and hold onto that bar that tightly and hold up under that kind of pressure for that long amount of time. And I've really been thinking about that a lot lately. You see, the Bible in Psalm 55:22 says this. It says, "Cast your burden on the Lord and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." I mean, how often do I go through my day and in a similar way I'm gripping on to life as tightly as I can, hanging on for dear life to the cares of this world, just trying to muscle my way through with all the strength I have. I'll put in just a few more hours, I'll work a little harder, I'll worry just a little bit more about things I really can't control. I'm not going to let go, I'm going to muscle my way through this. I will get it done at all costs. Instead of, what did the psalmist just say again? Cast your burden on the Lord and He will sustain you. And how about Isaiah 41:13? For I, the Lord your God, hold your hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you. Can you relate with any of this? Sometimes the grip is me trying to squeeze things into the mold that I've already predetermined is the best direction for my life to go. It's me trying to make things go a certain way. Sometimes it's me trying to, grip on to yesterday and the past, or maybe gripping on to expectations I have for the future, instead of learning to just release all that and lighten up my grip on those things and live in this moment. Focus on this very time that God has placed me in right now. Because the truth is, I'm not even promised that there will be a tomorrow. Matthew 6:34 says this, "Do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble," you see? God's promise to us is that his grace will be sufficient for right now, for today. And so here's the thing I'm getting at. When I'm on those long bike rides and my grip starts to give out way before the strength of the rest of my body, loosening my grip is the critical thing if I'm going to continue to experience the sustaining strength I need to make it for the whole ride. And the same thing is true for followers of Jesus Christ. We have more than enough strength and grace and power available in relationship with Christ to face all of the hard things that we have to deal with on a daily basis. But instead of relying on the strength that he provides for the long ride of life, far too often we're sitting there gripping onto that handlebar with all we've got like it's all up to us. And then we wonder why we're losing control and we're starting to go numb in life. So hey, Christian, loosen up, let go, relax, rest in the grace that God supplies and trust him. You are going to get through this. He really is enough to sustain you. He has enough strength and sufficient grace for you. Stop trying to manipulate all the things around you and micromanaging people in an unknown future. Stop second guessing the past and all the coulda, woulda, shouldas of life and the if onlys and if only that and this and just let go of that tight grip on things that you really can't control. You're not made to bear up under that. So maybe you need to hear that today. It's really been helping me a lot lately. I just need to loosen my grip. God's already given me enough strength in him to complete this ride of my life. The issue is not how much strength is available in relationship with Jesus. The issue is that I'm gripping too tightly onto things that I really can't control. The famous football coach Lou Holtz once said, it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry the load. See? We're not made to carry the load of life by ourselves. Matthew 11:28 and 29 is one of my favorite passages in the Bible. It says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." So if you're gripping tightly, but you feel like you're about to break, you're burdened down, you're cracking under the pressure, listen to what the Bible's saying. Run to Jesus with those cares and concerns. He really is in control. He's right there sustaining you all the way, and he's more than enough for what you have to carry on this day. So loosen up your grip and throw those burdens on him. The strength that you need to finish your ride today isn't in keeping your grip tightly on the circumstances of your life, but instead in letting go and throwing your weight on him. And when you do, I promise you, he will never let you down. Listen to what 1 Peter 5:7 says, casting all your anxieties on him. Why? Because he cares for you. There's never going to be a day that that's not true. I hope this has helped you like it's helped me. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit today. I look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday for Midweek